It's been almost 10 months since members of the FARC leadership left the jungle and came to the Cuban capital, Havana. There have been 13 rounds of talks with the Colombian government where the FARC have tried to set an agenda for their future in Colombian politics. Until now, the left-wing rebel group and the government have partially agreed on just 1 point out of the 6 in the roadmap to peace. Among them, land reform, and they're currently discussing political participation. It's been months of discussing and of this whole peace process. What have you achieved so far?
We have agreed on the first point of the agenda, which is to work towards some type of land reform, which is key in our conflict. There are many issues that have not been sorted out when discussing it, but we have decided to put everything that we don't agree on in a freezer, so we can continue talking about other points and then go back to it.
The FARC has admitted that it has some responsibility for the suffering that has happened in Colombia in the last years. What do you acknowledge? What are your responsibilities in this conflict?
Imagine the pain of a family that sends their children to war as soldiers, but also as guerrillas. We had to use weapons to fight against governments that ignored the poor. We never meant to cause pain, but it happened. In Colombia, there is no respect for human rights, for international law. The posts by the military and the police are in urban centers, so when there is confrontation, that affects people there. Also, if there have been mistakes within our ranks, we have made sure that those mistakes were punished.
FARC leaders have said they're not prepared to serve a single day in jail, raising concerns that gross violations will go unpunished and victims will not receive their day in court. The Colombian government says these are critical times for the peace process. The government seems in a hurry because presidential elections are happening in Colombia in the coming years. What is your position on that?
El problema no es si es un proceso rápido o es lento.
The problem shouldn't be if the peace process is slow or fast. It cannot be an express peace accord like the government wants, but it also cannot last forever. This process cannot be marked by the political times or electoral times.
Colombia's President Juan Manuel Santos would like an agreement by the end of the year. And that agreement, the government says, should be approved by a popular vote. Teresa, Al Jazeera, Havana.